So what's a typical eating day look like for you? Like, what are you putting in your system?
Yeah.
And
So
what time do you put it
yeah.
in?
So I wake up in the morning and I have a cup of coffee around 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
I like coffee. I'm a big fan of coffee. I don't eat until 12:30 or 1.
Okay.
So I use what we call a compressed eating window.
Mm.
Now, I will wake up and I have plenty of energy because I'm so good at burning fat. I've trained my body to do that.
So
I
you
don't
have the energy. You don't
I
need.
have the energy. I'm not in a slump waking up from having not eaten for the 12 hours that I was sleeping. It doesn't matter. I'm so good at accessing the stored body fat. I got plenty of energy. In fact, I'll go to the gym at 9:30 or 10 o'clock and I'll do my workout fasted. Sometimes it'll be a heavy leg day. Sometimes it'll be intervals of some kind. Again, I don't. And
you feel fine.
Feel fine.
Right.
And then when I get home, I won't eat. If I get home at like 11, I still won't eat for an hour and a half. Partly because I'm not hungry.
Right,
Partly because I got stuff to do.
Right,
So,
exactly.
But I'm not compelled to go, oh, my God, I just finished my workout. I must eat a post-workout shake or something.
Yeah, there's so many people that say that, have a protein shake within the first 30 minutes of waking up to start your metabolism, drink a shake right after a workout. Why do they say that, and why do you think you don't need to?
I think you don't need to because if you become good at burning fat, a couple things happen. First of all, you have the energy to get through the day. Second of all, if you're good at burning fat and you're not hungry, I say if you're not hungry, why are you eating? If you're not hungry, don't eat because that's kind of key. When you become good at burning fat, you don't enter that cannibalistic zone that the bodybuilders enter when they're dependent on carbs a lot, which is you start to tear up your muscle tissue. Because when you're a sugar burner and you run out of sugar, or you're depending on carbohydrate. By the way, I use glycogen, glucose, carbohydrate, and sugar sort of interchangeably.
Okay.
But when you're a sugar burner and you haven't eaten for a while, you've depleted the glycogen in your liver and your muscles because your body's expecting you to have sugar all this time, and that's where you store it, but you don't store very much of it. So when you run out of it, the brain...
You need to fill it up.
The brain goes, hey, something's off here. We got to eat. And if we don't eat, then here's what we're going to do. We're going to signal the adrenals to create cortisol, which is going to go tear down muscle tissue so that the amino acids can be sent to the liver to be converted into glucose so I can fuel the brain. So it's like you're tearing down the muscle you just spent all the time trying to build because of your dependence on glucose. All that goes away when you become a fat burner. When you become good at burning fat... Now when you don't eat, your body knows how to access the stored body fat, so your energy levels don't dip, your blood sugar doesn't dip, and so you don't cut into muscle tissue.
Gotcha. So you can train really hard to try to build muscle, and you're still saying you don't need this like post-recovery shake right afterwards if you learn how to eat the right way.
Exactly. Now, if you're the old paradigm and you are the carbohydrate-dependent athlete, then you probably do want to eat a post-workout meal because you probably will cannibalize some of the muscle tissue because you're working on an entirely different operating system.
Interesting. Man, and so that 21-day transformation is how you get off of that cycle and get into the fat-burning cycle, essentially?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. We'll have that linked up here as well.
And also the Primal Endurance, the book.
Has a lot of it in there.
This has it all in here, but this is really specific to people who want to race 10Ks, 5Ks, marathons, triathlons, Spartan races, all that stuff.
Gotcha. Yes. Have you done a Spartan race yourself?
I haven't.
I did one, a short one, like a 5-miler. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's fun though.
I wish it had been around when I was in my
prime.
Because
you would have been a machine.
Because I was a good marathoner, but I got my I had my DNA fitness thing done a few years ago, and I was like 57% endurance and 43% strength. What that means is it made me a pretty good endurance athlete, but I was never going to be the best in the world because you'd have to be 80% or 85%, right? But it also told me that I had the strength, which is sort of, in retrospect, that's why I realized I used to lift weights. Even when I was a marathoner, I lifted weights in the gym.
Yeah.
So I maintained my strength.
Wow.
And I was a gymnast before I was ever an endurance athlete.
Really?
So you look at the Spartan races and you go, well, that's, it's got some gymnastics, some parkour type movements,
rope climbing,
some heavy lifting, all that stuff combined with the endurance. That would have been
your thing.
My thing.
Wow.
But right now it's like I'm too guarding of my current fitness level and health. I don't want to get injured, you know. And
yeah, of course.
so like the big thing for me is my ultimate frisbee game once a week.
You're an ultimate frisbee?
Oh my God!
I love ultimate frisbee.
You got to come out to Malibu, man.
College champion with my team in college.
Get out of here. Which
It's been a small D3 school. Wasn't like
whatever,
big
man.
Time, but
you know what? So
I can run and jump and
we have a game in Malibu
dude, I'm in.
every Sunday at 9:30.
I would love
crazy.
to come. It's been years, but I'd love to come.
No. It's the most fun.
Can you wear cleats?
You can wear cleats. I wear my Vibrams, but guys wear cleats.
Wow.
No, it's anyway. So you know,
I would love to come.
You know what a good workout it is then.
That's one of the hardest workouts. An hour of ultimate, and I'm exhausted.
We play 2 hours, by the way.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. I would be like, sub me in. 15 minutes. I'd have to get back into shape for it. Wow, that's cool. In Malibu, huh?
In Malibu, yeah.
9:30 a.m.
Yep.
I'll be there. When it's
and there's
time.
guys from West Hollywood that come out there too.
I will come out for sure. Was it like 30 guys go out there?
We get last week we had 6-on-6. That's the most fun.
Oh, wow.
In the summer we'll have 10-on-10 sometimes. It's a little bit crazy, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so you wait until about you have coffee in the morning, then you wait till about noon to 1.
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to any food yet.
And then what is that meal?
Yeah, so that meal is typically it might be what I call a big ass salad. You know, it's a big salad with lots of vegetables in it and some form of protein, with lots of salad dressing. If you make,
you have your own salad dressing.
Now I have my own salad dressing because I couldn't find any that I could put a lot on and feel like this is
that isn't filled with sugar.
Yeah, exactly. or unhealthy fats or unhealthy oils like the soybean oil that I was talking about or the canola. You know, it's like no canola. This is our salad dressings are made with avocado oil, which is the healthiest of all the oils. Wow. So I have a big salad with chicken from leftover from the previous night or a piece of fish or something on it. Nice. Okay. And then I go till the middle of the afternoon, maybe late afternoon. I might have a handful of macadamia nuts. We do make a we make a protein bar now. Yes, all my products I make for myself. By the way, just so you know, I make stuff that I wish existed. That so this one, the dark chocolate almond bar. It looks amazing. It is amazing, and it's got there's 15 grams of protein, but mostly it's 9 grams of collagen. So it's got more collagen than a cup of bone broth. So, you know, I love bone broth, but you know, as a quick when I'm driving my car, you know, with let me pull out a bottle of bone broth. Yeah. So the bars are there because I'm really into the repair. So one of the issues I have as a 62-year-old guy trying to keep up with 20-somethings on a sprint to the end zone to defend a long pass is my Achilles. You know, so the collagen really works well. Really? Absolutely keeps me. I know that I can tell the difference between when I've been eating a lot of collagen and when I haven't. In just your Achilles. In my Achilles, yeah. What happens? Just tighter when you're not. Yeah, they feel like they're going to snap. Really? And they'll feel sore enough that I'll choose not. I'll back way off. Interesting. For weeks at a time. So anyway, so that's I might have a dark chocolate almond bar in the afternoon. I'm gonna have to get all this stuff. Yeah, I have to try it all out. Okay. And then in the evening, you know, I have a piece of steak. I've got this great Wagyu short rib that I get. It's my favorite cut of meat anywhere in the world. And I'll have that with a whole ton of steamed vegetables or lightly grilled vegetables with some butter on it. And once in a while, I have a glass of wine. And that's it. That's the whole day. Yeah. You don't need much more than that. No, so here's the thing. You may have gleaned from that it's not a lot of food. Right. And one of the things that you realize when you become good at burning fat, you don't need a lot of food. You don't need a lot of food. So a few years ago, you know, I had this thought experiment. I thought, well, you know, I used to my whole life see what I could get away with, see how much food I could eat and not feel like I was going to puke or not feel like I was going to gain weight. Right? It's how much food can I eat and not gain weight. And I think a lot of people live their lives that way. They sort of finish what's on their plate. They basically, there are a lot of people who run or work out just so they can eat more. Like, why do you run so much, Lewis? Well, I run because I love to eat. I love to eat. Well, dude, I love to eat too. Yeah. But I don't want to beat myself up. So I can eat more. So that was the thought experiment. And then if you reverse it, you go, well, if that's the case, what's the least amount of food I can eat and maintain my body mass, maintain my energy, not get sick, and most importantly, not be hungry. And it turns out it's about 30% fewer calories than I used to eat. Wow. Yeah. So I learned within the last 10 years, I've learned, you know, to sort of halfway through a meal, ask myself just sort of subconsciously, am I really hungry for the next bite? Not am I full, not am I, you know, whatever, But am I truly hungry for the next bite? And if I'm not, I'm okay pushing the plate away, wrapping it up, throwing it away, giving away whatever, because I know there's food wherever I want, whenever I want. So it's not like I'm trying to pack on the.
You don't need to stuff it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you just enjoy it?
Well, if you enjoy it, keep going.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of times you get into that space where you go, am I eating this because
it's still there?
Because it's still there.
Yeah.
Am I truly eating it because I enjoy it, or am I, like I used to? I had a habit of 1/2 gallon of ice cream a night.
Oh.
For 5 years.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing, and it was in my training days, so burned it all off. Never gained any weight. I actually weighed probably 20 pounds less than I weigh now.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was a 1/2 gallon of ice cream every night, and it was like I couldn't only eat a pint. It was like a pint of ice cream. Don't even like. Why am I going to get started on that? I'm just gonna
3 scoops. Yeah.
Rip your throat off and want more. It's whatever. Rip your head off. So I would, and if it was 10 o'clock at night and I didn't have any ice cream in the house, I'd get in the car and drive and get some. It was like a real addiction, a real sugar addiction. Clearly, I got rid of that. But it was, I wonder at times whether I had described this, it's a 1/2 gallon is my dose of ice cream.
Right.
And even though I could have satisfied myself with a pint or a 1/2 pint, because it was there, because I could eat it and I could get away with it, that became my dose. It's like people have a bag of potato chips. You have a little individual serving size of potato chips.
The whole bag.
And you have one this big. They're still, to some people, each one is an individual serving size.
It is.
Right?
It is. It's tough to just have a few chips in the big bags.
Yeah.
So what are these, for athletes listening or for people that want to get back into their athletic ways? I used to be a professional athlete, and I consider myself an athlete. You've got 9 pieces of primal advice for athletes. But I think a lot of entrepreneurs could live this way too, and still be better entrepreneurs, be more productive, have better relationships, be sharper, all these different things.
And I think everything you do to be a better athlete makes you a better entrepreneur.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you talk about adequate sleep, and this is something I've been talking about a lot lately on my podcast and bringing out different sleep experts. But why, just to emphasize, is sleep important for you?
I mean, sleep is when the body renews and regenerates, repairs itself. It's when a lot of the neural networking happens. To overlook sleep and to think, well, I can sleep when I'm dead. Well, that just is such faulty logic.
Yeah.
It's so critical and so important. I try to get 8 hours a night myself. If I get less than 6 for some reason, I feel it. I know it. I try to make up for it. I try not to let that happen. I try not to schedule late nights because I wake up at the same time pretty much every morning. So if
6 a.m. wake up, or
6:30, 6 a.m., 6:30. But if I were to go to bed at 1, I'd still wake up at my normal time.
Yeah.
And so I have to really force myself to, not force myself, because I'm tired at the end of the day. And I have this whole wind down process.
What is that?
So my wife and I will watch we'll do some television after dinner. We'll catch up on. We'll do some binge watching, catching up of whatever the latest series was. But around 10, we'll break. I have a pool in my backyard and a jacuzzi. So I go into the pool's unheated. So in the wintertime, it might be in the 50s.
Wow.
I'll walk into the pool and hang out there for a couple of minutes and get really, really cold, but not to the point of shivering. Just it's kind of a process in and of itself. Then I'll get in the jacuzzi. So my wife and I'll hang out in the jacuzzi. We'll just recap what the day's events were. It's very we turn off all the lights in the house. We have a fire pit out there, so there's a real sort of a primal caveman kind of thing to that. Then I'll just finish off with another minute in the cold, and towel off and go up to bed, and I sleep like a baby as a result of that.
Wow,
so
that's hot-cold therapy.
Yeah, the hot-cold therapy, and that's kind of how I wind my day down, and that prepares me to sleep, brings my body temperature down, which is, they say that you should have a lower body temperature to sleep better. We keep the room around 67.
Yes.
We have blackout curtains, so it's a real cool sleeping environment.
Yes. I always like to keep it cold.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn about the key foods you need to eat to master your health, make sure to watch this video right here.
Whole, unprocessed, unrefined foods.
Yes.
We should get rid of food additives,
Foods
hormones.
from the ground.
Yeah, everything. No antibiotics, no hormones, no pesticides, no GMO.